Okay, so today we are going to, this is day 2 of having my Ioniq 5 back in my possession after 7 weeks of it being held captive by Hyundai oarsmen, or Hyundai Corporation, Motor America, because of their ICCU failure. And speaking of which, what I'm doing today is I am going to be replacing the 12-volt lead acid battery inside the car, because I don't trust it. For whatever reason, Hyundai decided to not replace the lead acid battery, despite the fact that the car had sat for 7 weeks with a failed ICCU. And if you understand what the ICCU is, it is the interface between the high voltage battery, which resides underneath the car, and the, I just took this cover off the fuse box. It's the interface between it's the Integrated Charging Control Unit, ICCU. It's the interface between the high voltage battery and your 12-volt battery. And your 12-volt battery is ironically what controls all of the conveniences that you are used to, like starting the car, your display, the radio, the doors, everything, all relies on a antiquated 12-volt lead acid battery. I am replacing this battery, which is now almost 3 years old and depleted and sat in sub-freezing temperatures without a charge, with a absorbed glass mat battery, AGM battery, which has a little bit more lifespan than a conventional lead acid battery. They'll both use lead in their batteries. Anyway, on the hierarchy of batteries, it goes from lead acid, AGM, lithium ion, and now probably sodium. So that said, I went to Costco to get an AGM battery because that's the best supplier in my opinion, because I'm a huge Costco fan and I believe they have the best warranty and it's just very easy. I'm going to change this battery out and show you what it's like. One thing I did before, off camera, or while I was talking to you, was fiddling around. There's 2 tabs to take off this 12-volt fuse block cover, and there is a cover here that kind of shrouds the battery, keeps water from dropping on it. It literally just pulls right out with these tabs. So I'm going to put the camera up above and show you what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so the tools you'll need to complete this job is a long extension for a 12 meter or 13 millimeter socket. Apparently there's been a running change with the bracket that holds the battery down. And you'll need a 10 millimeter socket. I'm using a 3/8 ratchet, and I believe this is 10 millimeter deep socket, which reaches into the longer bolt of the terminals. So first thing you're going to do is, once you take this cover off, let me show you what it's like. It's 2 tabs, very easy, pulls right out. There is a yellow flag that is here, orange flag on a yellow fuse plug. And if you can see, over here is I don't know if the camera can see, but underneath this frunk, this tiny frunk, there is a convenience light that is on, and it's powered by the 12-volt lead acid battery. This fuse here and this flag is the interface between the high voltage battery and the 12-volt battery. And if I pull this, it completely kills that interface. So let's see what happens. So that's off. So now this is no longer connected to that high voltage battery, in theory, and it just kind of stops. What's going to happen is, when I eventually take the power off of the negative terminal, which you take off first, this light will go off, indicating you no longer have power going to all the convenience features. And let's see if it goes off. I'll actually put the camera on it to make sure. Hopefully you can see it. And I'm going to pull this off, and then the light went off. So back to here. So that's a great indicator that you no longer have power on the system. And that said, normally when I change a battery on a vehicle, I actually just put a rubber glove over the positive terminal, just for whatever, being paranoid. in this case, you don't need it because as soon as I disconnect the negative and the positive, as soon as I disconnect the negative and clear this terminal block off of this battery, then it will no longer have any power on it, so you don't need to put a safety cover on it. And so now we are powered down. What I do like about this, you know, as much as I crap about Hyundai, I love this cover they have on the terminal. It is completely covered. So this basically is that giant rubber glove that I would use. I like it because there's no way that anything can come in contact with it, which is, I hate to say this, great engineering. Now we're gonna take that 12 volts. Oh, this is nice. You can use the frunk to hold the tools and keep them from rolling. Duh, and put your camera here so it doesn't fall off either. So this is really long. And in a 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 5, it is in fact a 12 millimeter socket. And so what I'm gonna do is completely take the bracket off. So the battery has, on the composite base, there's a lip that grabs the lip that's built into all batteries. And so you only need one mounting point, and that's in the forward position. And so what's gonna happen is as soon as I take this bracket off, I'm gonna slide the lead acid battery forward an inch, not even, just to clear that lip, and then go grab the, I slide it here. Oop, there it goes, it kind of just popped right off. There's a nice little fiber washer down at the bottom. And I'm gonna do is slide this forward with this handy dandy handle. True confession, this was not nearly as clean under here as it looks now because I brushed everything off. So you notice how it just kind of, and this is a very light battery. So I'm just gonna blow this out because I'm anal. Here's the fiber washer that goes underneath the bracket. And if you can see, that's where the bracket goes and holds. That's the lip where the battery will go. I'm just gonna go get a blower and blow that out. You know, if you have your new battery sitting in your car, unlock your car before you do all this because you won't be able to turn the car back on to unlock it. So that said, here's the new AGM battery. We are going to slide it in. So the other option actually while I'm doing this is a lithium, well, there are two options, are using a lead acid battery again, which has probably, according to other Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Hyundai EV owners, has about a 2.5 to 3 years tops lifespan. Or the AGM is your second choice. Or the third, or technically four choices, are lithium ion or lithium iron phosphate or sodium batteries. The problem is if you are in cold areas, lithium ion, sodium I'm not familiar with enough, lithium iron phosphate batteries don't like to be charged when it's below freezing. So I know this because of van life stuff that I've been learning about for the better part of a decade now. You have to be careful with how you charge a lithium iron phosphate battery under freezing conditions, or actually sub 38, 39 degree temperatures, because the batteries don't like to be charged. So you need to have a heater on the battery. So that's the problem, is that you have a heater on the battery which is consuming energy, which needs to be replaced. And then that just is a discharge cycle, which is basically a term for how many times you can drain and recharge a battery. Whereas an AGM battery, you don't need that. Lead acid and AGM batteries are used still because they are just so robust. Aside from their shorter lifespan, they can just take a beating. They don't like to be discharged as much as sodium batteries, but I just messed up the fiber washer. Actually, the fiber washer, it actually holds the, so while I'm blabbing, this is the first thing you gotta do, is take your bracket, take that fiber washer down, that split, or, sorry, the noise with the freaking plane. That actually holds the bolt down, so you can center that down. In theory, let's see if that'll work. Of course, the plane is literally over my head. Okay, yeah, that works much better. Anyway, back to the discharge thing. If you were in a warm climate and you knew, warm but not hot, lithium ion phosphate batteries don't love hot and they don't love cold. It might be a pretty good, California's getting pretty hot now. So there's only certain places where lithium ion actually works. And trust me, I thought about doing that, going to that type of battery. Now we're tightening this up, by the way. But I just decided AGM is the safest way to go. And frankly, I don't trust this car enough to spend $400 on a battery on a car that may not last very long. And to add insult to injury, I just don't want to get involved with that. So AGM it is, and Costco it is. Two technologies and companies I trust. So here we are. And here's the cover that comes off of the positive terminal. We're going to reverse what we did before. This is actually quite easy. Again, this is actually a very good design because I love how it's enclosed. We're going to take this off, tighten this down. So the 12 millimeter socket is tightened down, holding the battery in place. I'm tightening down the 10 millimeter on the positive terminal. I do like this. Very, very nice. And now, what you should see is the light coming on in the front. And there it goes. So a tiny little spark, which is good. And then once this is all done, we are going to push the flag back in, the yellow breaker, and start the car up. This is probably the easiest battery change I've ever done. So thank you, Hyundai, for doing that. That's tight. And cross your fingers. Now we're back in business. Let's cover this back on, put this back on. Ordinarily, I like to test things before I put covers back on, but we're being optimistic. Let's go back in the car and turn it on. Okay, here's the moment of truth. It's alive! Okay, so now we got at least 3 years of hopefully problem-free use out of the car, at least as far as the 12-volt battery is. ICCU, still don't know, still don't trust it. And that's the funny thing is, this morning when I was looking at the car from my front window, I realized basically every single time I'm going to get into this car and push that start-stop button, I'm going to wonder every single time whether or not I'm going to hear a pop behind me and know that Hyundai still screwed us. So fingers crossed, let's just be optimistic. I'll say this, say it once, say it twice. I love the way this car drives. It is, for the money, even for the full price we paid, well, we didn't pay full price, but for the money, it is the nicest driving car I've ever had. Again, comparative to my, what I call the, sorry about this, hillbilly Cadillac, my F-150 Platinum, fully pimped out pickup truck, drove similar to this, and I love the way that car drove because it was just so heavy. And ironically, this car is almost as heavy as that F-150, even though this is much smaller. Yeah, so we are going to go ahead and return the battery to Costco and get my 15 bucks, which is, I'm surprised it's still that low for the core charge. Yeah, I still don't understand why Hyundai didn't replace the battery. But that said, if they did, they're still going to put in a lead acid battery, and I just don't trust it enough. Maybe they have I'm sure there's a protocol that they have as far as they need to check the lifespan of the battery with the tester to see how many volts and how much it discharges. And it passed that test, so they didn't replace it. So if that's fine, whatever. I just don't trust it. Picking up that AGM battery and picking up the OEM battery, you can tell there's a difference in the weight. This is definitely heavier. So it means there's more lead inside, so therefore more potential life in it. Let's put it that way. The more lead you have, the more energy potential you'll have in lead acid batteries. So I'm gonna go and polish my windshield. I washed and waxed the car yesterday after I got it. Of course it rained, but still the car's just gross. And now this is gonna be my car, so I kind of want it nice and clean, and because I'm anal again. But thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.